YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage here, or I guess Heir of Cathay today. Welcome to the video. This one's going to be an FFA, and I have some esteemed guests with me. Over here, bringing the triple frostworm Norsca is none other than Okoi, and I believe he is the master of 19 of everything, plus much more on his channel. He's got a lot of fun videos, so you should check him out. Over here as the Lizardmen is Anticity, who is a really good multiplayer channel. He's got awesome videos as well. You should check him out. He plays in tournaments. He's got a nasty Lizardman build over here. Then playing a Skaven, we have none other than Indie Pride from Milk and Cookies Total War. And again, no change. Another awesome channel that you should go check out. All these guys make some great stuff. He's playing as the Skaven, and he has Throt, I believe, leading his army. Yeah, here's Throt up here. Throt the Unclean, a Packmaster, and then, of course, I am playing Grand Cathay. I'm using their yellow banner here. I forget which sub-faction it was. I've got a dragon-blooded Shugengen Lord on a horse. Got several crossbows, one of which is a Celestial Dragon Guard. I have a Celestial Dragon Guard halberd, a couple of Jade Warrior halberds, a front line of swords, and a Sky Junk, and a couple of Terracotta Sentinels. I went a little bit heavy on the single entities just to have some punching power in this. But let's go check out Anticity here, who is about to take on Okoi's triple frostworm build here. So there's 3 breath attacks, but a pretty sly dodge there by the Skink Oracle on his Troglodyte. Got Krokgar on a cold one, so Krokgar is going to crack open a cold one and some skulls all at the same time. He is going to be a very tough anti-large unit, but he has gone with a very interesting army here. There's a couple of horned ones. Now, horned ones are actually pretty good now, especially because of the changes to Primal Rampage, or whatever it was called, or Primal Fury, Primal Instincts. They changed it to where it doesn't cause Rampage, but it basically makes them stronger in the lower levels of their hit points and stuff, so they're much better now. Oof, that magic shotgun from Krokgar. Look what that did to Throg. That is the Hand of the Gods there, which is still a very painful ability. So this all-cavalry build is going to be brutal, and it's funny because it's almost all cavalry as well from Okoi, other than his 3 Frostworms. He's got a bunch of Norscan Ice Wolves and other units, and he decides to just go ahead and YOLO into Krokgar. There's some immediate terror routing here as the Skink Oracle and his Troglodyte. Look at this Stilodon's Revivification as well to heal up the horned ones. That is going to be absolutely nasty build here from Anticity. I love it. I'm trying to fire some rockets into this fight because I am way away from the fight, and Anticity is off to a really good start in terms of getting some value out here, and I am long ways away from the fight. Indie Pride is going to beat me there, and then of course Okoi is able to get some value here as he's fighting, but he's obviously hesitant to just dump these Frostworms in because they're not going to like that, and I can't say I blame them. They're taking shots here from the Skink Oracle. I love Troglodyte and the Skink Oracle. It's such a cool unit. They're almost a must for me in Lizardmen armies where you need anti-large. Really nice tool. Here comes the 3 breath attacks again. It looks like he's trying to do damage on Krokgar, and he does get some damage done. Now Throg has taken a lot of damage in this fight too. Throg is a big boy, and he's pretty tough, but matched up here, he is far out of his league. He is very much overmatched, so he's not going to like this one bit. So Anticity is going to start off the game picking up some very decent points. Okoi is going to basically try and wait a while and keep these Frostworms alive and continue to do damage, and he should. This plan is definitely the right thing to do. Here comes the Thing, controlled by Indy, and he's going to end up getting mobbed by Cold One Spear Riders. And again, with the Revivification Crystals, gosh dang, that is a mouthful. This thing is going to be in trouble too because there's going to be healing going on the Spear Riders potentially, but it looks like that Anticity being smart here, try not to blob too hard and too long because the Skaven could come in there obviously trying to clean that up. I'm targeting horned ones again over here, just trying to get some points on the board because it is going to take almost forever for me to march my army across the battlefield. At this point, the good news is it looks like I have a good chance of being last man standing because all these players are already fighting. The bad news is that I may never catch up to the other players in terms of points. There was the summon, or the Vortex spell by Indy, and that's what he was trying to do with the thing, and Anticity did not buy into it, which was smart there. You gotta be really careful, especially in these FFA games. People definitely tend to bring Vortex spells because blobs are almost inevitable, and cleaning those blobs is got to be a very high priority. Man, this build is so dirty. I like it. The horned ones, check out the damage on the horned ones, by the way. 60, and it's AP. Come with nice charge, 100 armor, very high leadership. Like I said, with all the buffs they've gotten, they are really much better units now. It's good to see because they were pretty much unusable in the previous state of the game, so I'm glad to see them be in a much better condition. Look at them just powering through here to get to the Rattling guns. Smart move. Those Rattling guns are very high value targets, so this is going to get some value going. However, of course, India is going to jump right on that with Fraught, Thing, the Pack Masters. There's going to be some serious pain coming into these horned ones. Here comes some Pit Fighter Rat Ogres as well, but here comes Krokgar and his support team trying to come in and help out. And it is a big fight right now between Skaven and Lizardmen, and the Skaven are going to have a hard time turning back all of this stuff that the Lizards have brought, but a nice job so far getting rid of one of the horned ones. And we're going to see as Indy Pride here makes his stand with Fraught the Unclean. I'm sure he's packing Remoldered in here as well, which would help him keep alive these Molder monsters, which I believe the Thing would count as, though I'm not 100% certain. Wherever these horned ones are at, I've been trying to fire my rockets into that fight on occasion, and just, again, I need to pick up some points, and so I'm just trying to do that as I go. I can't leave my balloon completely alone, or else it's just going to give Okoye free points. So it's kind of a weird position I'm in. Like, I can't stop too long and just keep firing because I'm so far away, and so, you know, again, I see, though, that this point right here is looking pretty good to fight from. I can use it to try and get in here and have a good standoff position. We'll see how it goes. Here comes the breath attacks from the frost worms again, so Okoye trying to do everything he can to get value out of those units, and he will pick and choose carefully how he's going to engage. I was a little surprised to maybe not see him dive down and try and pick off a Bastillodon here, while Indy's got these other units busy, because it is a pretty good opportunity. Instead, he dives down here on the Clan Rats and decides to go for them. Meanwhile, I was making sure, too, that the Rattling Gun crew and some of these other units, I think I shot at something. I don't know what my... There's a couple of times when the Sky Junk took strange shots that didn't end up doing a whole lot, though you can see it's already picked up a Chevron. So not what I expected. Sky Junk, to me at first felt like it won't be worth it at all, but it's actually done a little bit of damage so far, so I'll take what little bit it'll give me. Here comes another volley. I'm kind of just moving it forward and then just popping a shot. Every now and then as it moves forward, you can see I got another hit there, pack some more kills because it was a little bit of a blob. So I've started to move into position where I can hope to get into the fight eventually, but this fight's not finished. And I've either got the choice of pushing through here and just trying to get directly involved, or to sit back for a minute and try and get some points out of this blob. So I went ahead and took a couple pot shots, but the blob's breaking up, and there's not a whole lot of units left here that are of any value except for single entities. So I'm going to have to get in and do the damage. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and push on through, try and bring my Terracotta Sentinels to bear in this fight, and hopefully be able to get a little bit of value out of them. My crossbows and other units should be able to be protected. I've got 3 halberd units, and then my ward will be, nearby to help support as well. Though to be fair, I didn't bring a whole lot of abilities or damage capability in my lord. I think I just brought a little bit because you definitely want to have something in these big fights to do damage. I think with Cathay, a good one for this matchup, and I didn't bring it in this matchup, but Talons of the Night. I don't remember which lord it's in, Yin or Yang, but Talons of the Night would be a really nice spell for these FFA battles because it does good area of effect damage. It's stationary, it's easy to target. Right there, I was able to use my crossbows to mow down a Marauder Horsemaster, and I'm going to move forward and keep looking for more targets. So, open fire as I get into range. There we go. Did some really good damage to that Skink Oracle, which is an expensive target, so this will help quickly get me some points, but I don't expect Anticity to sit around and just let me kill his units. So he's going to retreat here. Obviously, you can see those big volleys coming out of those, and some of those are the Celestial Dragon Guards, so that was definitely a good volley to dodge. He doesn't want to be a part of that. As I move in with the Terracotta Sentinel, no one wants to take this fight, so I'm going to go ahead and start pulling back before I get overextended with the Terracotta Sentinel. These are really slow, though, and it got debuffed right there with some poison off of the Skinks in the back of that Bastillodon. That was very nice. It got some good damage done there, too. Those Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen are really helping to pump out some damage against this high armor Lizardmen that are remaining. At this point, Okoye is know, pretty much out of options. I'd forgotten my Lord for a second, by the way, too. Almost got it killed by frostworms. So he's parked over the top of me, about to engage, so I go ahead and just turn my crossbows on him. Again, looking to gain a little bit of value. I've got my Terracotta Sentinels back up here now, too, so he can certainly get down and do some damage to some of my units, like my crossbows, my Lords. But, you know, I can fight him off, especially with that Anticity up here pressuring me at the same time. He's busy chasing down, I think, a couple of Indy's units who are running off, so I get a few very nice crossbow shots. But, you know, at this point, I think Okoye was just kind of deciding, you know, where he wants to dive and when. He's going to have to think fast, because otherwise I'm going to put some pretty severe damage into these frostworms. He goes ahead and comes down right in the middle of my Celestial Dragon crossbowman, which was a solid choice. Unfortunately for him, this also puts him very close to my Celestial Dragon Guard, which are going to be pretty nasty at the moment, though. Their frostbite and other stuff is really major because of these frostworms. I believe they have a chilling aura as well. Yeah, they're like Hex Wraiths. They've got chilling aura, and they've also got frostbite, so my men can barely move when they get attacked by these things. They'll be extremely slow. But at the same time, like I said, I have the halberds, I've got the sentinels. Fortunately, I just don't think there's going to be a ton of damage. The frostworms, though, are persistently chasing my my Celestial Dragon crossbowman. I was trying to move through other infantry to kind of body block here, but as I would expect, the frostworms are going to try and make it hard on me. This one's the Cold Voider as well, which all three of them are, because they had turned off unit caps on this one. But in any case, yeah, the Cold Voider has that chilling aura. I don't think a standard frostworm does. Fortunately for me, the Cold Voider didn't have, I think it has like some kind of vortex or something that sends everywhere when it attacks you in the monster hunt. It didn't appear to have that here. So my Sky Junk's not going to be worth a whole lot more at this point. It has these little crane gunner guys who can shoot down from it occasionally, but otherwise it's not going to be worth a whole lot. But I'm guessing the Troglodon, let's see what he shoots at. Yeah, he's shooting at my Lord right there. It's a nice shot. The Troglodon is very effective against large targets. Although my Lord isn't very large, it still counts as large. There's one more Cold Voider here that I'm about to get rid of, and some regrouped clan rats from Indy. I'm surprised those rats made it all the way to the line before they broke. That's actually somewhat impressive performance on their part. See the Cold Voider here. Getting tagged up by halberds. And then here comes Krokgar, also going straight for the crossbows. Makes sense. That's what crossbows are going to do. They're going to do the damage to you, so I'm not surprised that these heavy mass units are trying to ignore my sentinels and halberds and just go for crossbows. So that's, I mean, when you're in a box, people are going to try and break the box. So that's what happens. Yeah, it looks like Norsca lost their last ground unit, so they're going to be forced to ground. And then, see here the Terracotta Sentinel chasing that off. Shot in here, a little bit risky here with my Sky Junk, but trying to get some extra damage done. My Celestial Dragon Guard are going to tear through that Oracle really quickly, so Anticity is going to move it along. He doesn't want that there. Going to try and get into some targets where he needs to basically crank out as much value as he can get late in this game. He was way ahead, and the farther he gets ahead, the more he can try and secure his victory, whereas I need to kill him and kill him quickly before he does a lot of damage. My Terracotta Sentinels are my best bet. These Revivification Crystals, Krokgar is a tough target. The Oracle's a pretty tough target. It has healing. I don't know if he brought the healing on the Oracle. I don't think he did. Yeah, he did. Okay, yeah, so Earthblood, it looked a little different than I remembered. So yeah, he's got healing on the crystals and healing on the Troglodon, so definitely a very tough army that he's put together. At this point, though, you know, I've kind of got him surrounded. They're not going to be able to get away forever. Krokgar, I don't remember if he's got any more of his Hand of the Gods left. It only has so many uses, I think. Look at this, a healing cap on Krokgar. Healing cap on the Bastiladon here. Yeah, this one hasn't hit one yet, but I mean, that's impressive, like how much healing. As lizards aren't a faction that you typically associate, like, it's not the first one you're going to think of, like, oh, high healing, Lizardmen. They do have quite a few options for healing, but, you know, it's just not what people probably think right off the bat. There they go. Yeah, so still a persistent attack on my Jade Warrior crossbows. These Bastiladons are trying to stay moving. Again, that's understandable. Krokgar gets taken out by a Terracotta Sentinel, so that is going to pull him out of the fight. Like I said, now it's just desperation for me to get as many points as possible. See if it's, you know, potentially possible for me to pull past Anticity, though it did feel like a very long shot. However, I should take pride in something here, because something's happening here that would never happen in, like, say, a 1v1 battle or a domination battle, which is my forces are going to kill Anticity's army. So look, Air killed Anticity, so right, I'm ready to win all the tournaments. I'm practically pro at this point. Just because he had to fight 3 other players first, and I had my whole army left. I mean, come on. Don't pay attention to that, right? I'm unbeatable. I haven't ever lost a game, and there's no video evidence to the contrary. Anyway, good game to my fellow players here. I believe these guys come back from round. I actually thought the game was over at this point, so I kind of turned around and stopped paying attention. And then Bastillodons came back from routing, and Indy was like, Air, getting attacked. I was like, oh, yeah, they're still alive. But you know, that's probably a good thing for me, because it'll hopefully give me just a few more points here at the end, because like I said, I need points really badly. Just one last Bastillodon rolling in here, and then the battle's over. In the replay and go take a look at the score. It doesn't show it on screen anymore. See, it needs to fix that. So I did not make it back into Anticity's neighborhood there, so it did not happen. But it was a valiant try, I felt. Surprisingly, my Sky Junk got the most value out of that fight, which was pretty impressive. The Dragon Guard crossbows, or the Dragon Crossbowmen, did very well. That's another unit that if they don't get obviously whacked immediately in one of these battles is going to be potentially capable of racking up some score there as well. And then look, with 0 kills just because those large targets, we still got 1,070 value quickly on the Celestial Dragon Guard. So fun stuff there. Not much out of my Lord. Didn't expect much out of my Lord there. Let's take a look at Krokgar, because Krokgar probably did, oh yeah, look at that, 4,139. And then 3,103 on the Oracle. 1183 on that horned one. 1903. 2258. Wow. That was some pretty sweet work there with that all cavalry Krokgar army. So if you are looking for a cool themed Krokgar army, well, there you go. You've been given a fun idea. Indie Pride here with Throt at 1348. Packmaster at 1239. Thing at 2436, which has to be quite a lot because that's an expensive unit. But, you know, it did get a little... Man, his that Rattling Gun team got absolutely shut down, both of them. That was unfortunate for him. He didn't get to use those weapon teams, which would obviously be very important. Pretty good work here with the Plague Priest, though. It's not bad. The same thing with the Rat Ogre's not bad there either. Head on over to Throg. Throg, I mean, take a drink in remembrance of Throg. I mean, he was just in over his head tonight. Can't say I blame him for not being able to pull his way out of that match. Trying hard to get his value out of the Cold Voiders. It just didn't work out. And the rest of his army, unfortunately for Okoye, just got overmatched there. But again, nice try there to get as much value as he could out of these units in the end. Appreciate you all watching. Just kind of a more social battle. This one obviously wasn't anything serious. We were all just kind of having fun, having a good time. Appreciate the other players and creators for joining in. And HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all soon with some more action in Warhammer 3 soon.